Welcome friends to my new session on improving service delivery proposition module number 4. The learning objectives of today's session are as follows. First one is on discussion related to three different types of marketing in service industries. Second one is on factors leading to customer switching behavior. Service quality model. This is also called as 5-gap model. Fourth one is determining service quality. Fifth one is talking about the best practices in service operations. Sixth one is talking about the franchise mode of offering services and few issues in franchisee mode. Seventh one is on global trade with respect to services. Then we will discuss two different cases. In service industry, there are three different types of marketing as follows. They are basically related with internal marketing between employees and employer, interactive marketing between peer groups and employees, and external marketing is between the suppliers as well as customers. Here in this section, we are going to talk about factor affecting customer switching behavior. First one is pricing, which is one of the crucial factor in India with respect to switching behavior of customers are concerned. Then we are talking about inconvenience, which actually force customers to think of alternatives. Then we have core service failure. For example, you have hired a tele internet service provider and their services out of 100 days, almost 80 days failed. Then ultimately the core services they fail to deliver to you. Then look for alternatives in general. Service encounter failures, which is related with, for example, you are hiring electricity board services and out of 100 days, almost 80 days they fail to deliver the power or electricity supply for 24 hours. So again you look for an alternative solution to find the power supplier. Response to service failures, which is one of the major issue which creates irritation behavior among the customers, that ultimately they force to look for alternatives. The competition is one of the major aspect. If you take current situation of telecommunication in India, so you have multiple players offering telecom services. So because of telecom competition, you are about to get into switching behavior. Ethical issues and problems are major factor behind switching of the behavior. Last one is involuntary switching, which is also seen during service operations. Here I am going to talk about 5-gap model of services offered by Professor Pashuraman. It starts from word of mouth, then it talks about personal leads. We will focus on past, present, future experiences of customers. It starts with the expected service delivery. This is the gap number 1, where the gap between consumers' expectation and management perception will be focused. Gap number 2 will be with respect to difference between translating perception into services and management perception of current expectations. Gap number 3 arises between the service quality specification and ultimately service delivery you have received. The gap number 4 comes when you get the service delivery and it is different from what has been advertised. So this is related with perceived versus actual receipt of the delivery. So there are fifth gap in the service is perceived service and expected delivery. So these 5-gap model are one of the major issue with respect to services industry and service operations management is concerned. To recap on gaps that causes due to unsuccessful service delivery, first one is gap between consumer expectation and management perception. Second gap is gap between management perception and service quality specifications. Third gap is gap between service quality specification and service delivery. The gap between service delivery and external communication of the firm. The last gap, which is one of the crucial gap, is referring to perceived service quality and expected services. Following are the six determinants of service quality. First one is reliability, second one is responsiveness, assurance of continuous delivery, and empathy. You keep yourself in the place of consumer. So this is called empathy. Then tangibility. How far in the services you can bring the tangible experience. This is one of the major determinant factor with respect to offering quality in the services. Best practices in service sector, which is strategic concept of service operations, top management commitment with respect to services offered in the operations, high standards maintained with respect to the competition and rest of the sectors. Self-service technologies are the most important factor with respect to best practices are concerned. Then monitoring system, controlling system is the backbone of best practices. Satisfying customer complaint is the foremost call of an organization with respect to services are concerned. The last one is your internal customer satisfaction, that is basically satisfying employees, because a happy employee can create only the happy customers in the organization. Let us discuss the concept of franchising. What is franchising? Franchisee is a mode of operations in the services. For example, McDonald's is concerned. So McDonald principal sitting in USA hire franchisor in India to operate its businesses in New Delhi or parts of India. So this is what is franchisee. They work on commission and they work as per the rules and regulation of franchisor. So benefits of franchisee operations are as follows. One is management training. They involve employees for continuous training and it helps to improve the service quality operations. They have come up with the brand name. So as you know, McDonald's is the biggest brand. So if you take the franchisee agency of McDonald's, you are bound to get a continuous business. Similarly, if you take the Haldiram's franchisee, ultimately it is established brands of Indian sweets in India. Then your business will continuously grow because of strength of brand name is concerned. So national advertising will support franchisee. Acquisition will lead to higher growth of business and it brings the economies of scale. So these are the advantages of franchisee operations. As you know, there are advantages in the system and there are disadvantages in the system. So it is the case with franchisee operations. There are three disadvantages of franchisee. Because of this, franchisee need to work under the autonomy of the franchisor. Franchisee has to be governed by the contract or agreement with the franchisor. Franchisee and franchisor conflicts are really deep down the line and it creates a lot of confusion in the system. So conflict resolution is the most important activity in service operations are concerned. Now let us discuss the nature of borderless or global world trade. So it starts with the different kinds of C's. So here I'm going to explain the impact of 5 C's on borderless trade. First one is a customer, refers to the information empowerment of customer and brings lot of demand from the customer. Then second one is a competition or competitors. Nothing like and nothing is permanent, so they keep on looking for different kind of alternatives. Company is acquiring a fixed cost and require large number of markets. So this is the role of a firm. Currency is a major deterrent factor with respect to the global trade is concerned, and currency fluctuation can hurt your application of the business. Country benefit are the most important with respect to services are concerned. So if country is having a cordial relation with the firm, only then the company can perform the best of the function in the country. Here I am going to talk about planning with respect to transnational operations. So, multinational companies or transnational operations are governed by the culture of the country where they are going to start their functions. It is governed by the labor norms of that particular country. The power distance index can show how the hierarchy in the system functions. Then there are issues with that, which is defined as individualistic society, masculinity society, uncertainty avoidance index society, long-term orientation in the society, and the behavior of a host government, which is the most crucial with respect to the planning and effectivity and execution of service operation in the country. Here in this slide, I am talking about elements of international strategic service division focused on service delivery system, operation strategy, and service concepts and target market segmentation. All these four elements create the strategic aspect of service operations management. Now friends, you have seen that this case study on Goodwill Industries of Central Texas, USA, you have seen and gone through the details of the case study. I invite you to share your viewpoints with respect to this case study.